Okay, good afternoon, friends. I'm Ryan.
I'm Rachel.
And we're Mountains into Memories, and today we're going to give you a tour of our Forest River Wildwood X-LITE 19dbxl. We know it's a 19dbxl because it says so, right there. And it also says made in the USA. I'm going to give you guys a tour of the outside, and then Rachel's going to give you a tour of the inside. So let's get started. Okay, good afternoon everybody. Before we get into the rest of our tour video, we thought we would introduce you to our newest adventurer and let you know kind of why we've been taking 3 weeks off of making videos.
This is our son William. He was born before Christmas. He came in at 9 pounds 4 ounces and 21 inches long.
Yeah, so he's a big boy.
Yeah.
He's gained over a pound actually in the last like 2 weeks, so
He's growing.
Don't think that an infant is going to stop us from doing traveling and adventures, and the vlogs are going to keep coming once we get into kind of March or so. We've got a good bit planned already for the summer and a lot more that we're going to be booking. Pretty soon we're going to have an upcoming video on how we're planning our season, so that ought to be an interesting one. So if that's some stuff that you're interested in, hit the subscribe button so that way you'll be notified whenever we post a video. Okay, so we're going to start with the front here. We got two 20-pound propane tanks and electric jack, which we have modified so that it's sideways. We have a video on that, which I'll link to right there if you want to see more on that. Another thing we do have up here is a battery. It's just your 12-volt battery. We have some upgrades we're going to be working on with that next season, but for now this has worked pretty well as far as keeping everything going while we're going down the road. We have a 12-volt fridge, which we'll talk about. Here, you've got your weight stickers like usual. I think we're somewhere in the neighborhood of 7,500 pounds when it's loaded, but we scaled it at much less than that. It was only like 6,000 pounds. And I think the listed dry tongue weight of this is like 530. We've got a small storage compartment here. It's a pass-through, but they gave us a smaller door on this side, which is a real hindrance. I really wish that this door was the same size as the one on the other side, because there's several things that we can't fit, like the grill won't come out this door, so you have to crawl in there and reach through to the other side. But in here we have some hoses and some electrical gear, stuff that you'll need when you're on this side of the rig. It's a 30 amp rig, and here's your water fill and that stuff, pretty standard. Your dump stuff is back there. We've got cable and satellite connectors that don't actually work, so we've got that going for us. So these rigs, they all come with these Castle Rock tires, which are, from what I've read, pretty bad. But we have installed tire pressure monitors, which are integrated with the truck, and there's a video on that with the link above, how we did that. This is the door to the pass-through on this side. And this is the size door that I wished that the other side had. No idea why they shorted us on that. Another issue that I have with ours is the awning. It's so small. I'm either beating my head off of it here or on the other side. If you're ever going to the outdoor kitchen, it's like you're constantly hitting your head off. Got outdoor speakers, which used to work until this trip. Not sure what's going on with that right now. We haven't unpacked yet because we just got here. We're currently at Letchworth for timeline's sake. But I wanted to show you this because I modified this outdoor kitchen to make it fit this way as far as storage goes. These two tubs would not fit there because your refrigerator is facing this way. So we pushed it back in, and I'll move these out of the way so Rachel can film it. But it also, when we moved the fridge, it allowed us to have access to this cast iron, which I hung here, but the fridge would have been, right here. And there was a wall right where the fridge is, and a big empty space back there where you could not access it at all. And we do keep some stuff back here too. I wanted the fridge to be pushed back the whole way, but it doesn't quite fit. But this opened up a whole new world though, being able to have the cast iron, you know, all in here hung up, because we do use that very regularly. It's got a hose connection here, pretty simple. The hose is dirty still from our Chigatig flood, but it just hooks in like that, and we do use this an awful lot for, you know, washing off dogs' feet or cleaning the grill or whatever. This little sink pops out, which we've used it to do dishes and stuff several times. When we were at the KOA at Hocking Hills, they actually had places near your sites where you could dump your dishwater. So if you did your dishes in here, you just pick this up and dump it in it, which that was pretty cool. It saved on filling up the gray tank. Our tanks are tiny. We'll get into that in a bit here. It's also got an electric inductive stove, which we've got a long list of things that don't work the way that they're supposed to, and this is on my list, right? So the skillets, for some reason, only get hot in the center, and you know, we've tried different skillets, and it seems like it's the same thing with all of them. It's supposed to magnetically sense how big your skillet is, but ours doesn't seem to be working. So we have plans to change that in the future with the stove. It also has a countertop which slides out, which is pretty nice as well. We've got the deep fryer back there, so a lot of times we'll plug that in and stick it on here. And so the back, you know, it's pretty standard stuff. You've got your spare tire. We've got this here now, which we just mounted this here before this trip. I said that our tanks are small, and I think our fresh is 40 gallons. Our gray and black are both around 30. We bought this to remedy that problem. There's a video on that, which I'll also link to above, and that talks about how we manage our water with our small tanks. So check that out if you're interested in water management. Without further ado though, we're going to get into the business of it and go inside. So real quick before we go inside, I do have some stickers on the door that some people have sent us, and this is our one from Summersville. Feel free to send us stickers if you want.
Alright, well, welcome everybody. This is the inside of our camper. Ryan, if you want to pan around, it's not excessively large.
Yeah, it's very small.
There's not too much, but we'll start with the couch and the Murphy bed situation and go from there. So this is where, this is mostly where the dogs hang out. We don't get to sit on the couch very much, and that's why the blanket's on it to protect it. But this is here if we do want to sit down, and to turn it into a bed. And voila, a bed. Got a shelf up there for, we put little pillows and blankets up there, but you can put whatever you want, extra clothes, shoes or hats or whatever.
We also added some lighting up there.
Yeah, we did need some lights up there. Those puck lights were not there, and this is just, it's too far away from when you're laying down if you want to read it. We do put the bed away every day because with the bed down, we already don't have a lot of floor space, so you lose even more if the bed is down.
Do you want to show them like where the bed sticks out to?
It comes to about here.
Yeah.
Right at the edge of that rug. So you've got this much space to walk through. So we each have these side closets here. Ryan's and mine, although Ryan's has hoodies too. I kind of took over part of his storage space. You've got access to the pass-through on both sides as well, so we don't put too much in those. In the kitchen we have a flip-up counter for extra counter kitchen space, and Ryan put in these hooks for the trash can, so we bungee the trash can in so it can stay there while we travel, and he's got these nice eye hooks in there for that. We did mount this paper towel holder, so that's nice. Not a lot of pantry space. It's stuffed full now because we're on a longer trip, but not a whole lot of space up there. Maybe someone who's better at organizing would find more use with it, but we put mixing bowls and stuff in there. 2 drawers in the kitchen. We have a 3-burner stove and no oven. That's something I'm a little disappointed about, is no oven. We have a drawer for other pots and pans, but it would be nice to have an oven in here. This is not a convection oven, it is just a microwave, so you can't count that as an oven either. This is our dining booth. This bench, we don't eat inside a lot, only if it's raining, and even then, if it's sprinkling, we still sit outside. So this bench usually ends up being storage. And then we sit over here. And underneath, this one is Sarah's space. We've got these pull-out, soft-sided container things. I don't know that they're drawers really, but this one's Sarah's. And then this one is a catch-all. Extra towels. The swim stuff is usually in here. Sarah's storybooks. And then overhead, some more storage space that you could use for pantry space, but our dog food goes in there, and the battery for the drill.
Yeah.
And then up here, back in there is where I keep bath towels. And then this is our bread and chip cupboard. We do have a small TV mounted, but like Ryan said, we haven't been able to use it yet.
Yeah, something doesn't work with the connections. If anyone's good at troubleshooting that, or anything else that I've talked about that doesn't work, let us know in the comments.
We have a 12-volt fridge, like Ryan said. We had to put baby latches on them while we travel, because otherwise they fly open and then all of your refrigerated goods and freezer goods go flying through the camper. We learned that the hard way numerous times.
Well, it also doesn't help that that refrigerator is mounted in there so poorly. I have to tear it out completely, actually, after this trip, because something is clogged and the fridge is leaking water all over the place. I think it's a hose that goes from the freezer to the fridge is clogged. A little bit of research I did points to that, but we'll see soon.
Yep, so we'll come back here to the bunk area. The top bunk, again, is sort of a catch-all situation, which we are going to have to get over using it as, because we have another child coming soon, so we'll need to use the bunk as a bunk. But for now, it holds our laundry and various bags that we're not using. So, bottom bunk is for Sarah for now. She uses about half of it. Sarah, I'm going to show them what's under your bunk, okay? So you sit right there. Ryan retrofitted this nice little storage space under Sarah's bunk for extra camp chairs, fans, coffee makers in there, some of Sarah's toys. It's extra storage space we can use, maybe put some of the stuff from the top bunk in there. Thank you, sweetie. You can't see it here in the top bunk, but both bunks do have USB plugins. They do not have a normal, what do you call it?
Like an actual 110 outlet.
Yeah, they don't have a 110 outlet. It is only USB, and I found that to be an issue because the one sound machine we have for Sarah is not a USB plug-in. It's a 110 outlet plug-in, so we've had to put it elsewhere. And I recently got her a new one that does work with the USB now. But up front, you do have USB outlets on both sides as well as 110 outlets on both sides. There's a fair amount of power hookups through here as well. That's something that I've heard is an issue, is some RVs don't have a lot of power hookups, but we've got one here, we've got one under the table, two, like I said, by the bed, and there is one by the bathroom sink.
It's single AC, and that works pretty well. And then the furnace is located down there, and then the water pump is also located behind there. We've done some modifications to that as well. There's IGTV video on that. Before we started a YouTube channel, we were putting some stuff on there, so that's on there.
The sink is outside of the actual bathroom. Some people mind that, some people don't, but we've got a cupboard under here for bathroom supplies. This is a new medicine cabinet. that Ryan put in. The other one just did not have the space that this one does, so got a lot of stuff in there.
There's a video on that too, and we'll link it.
And then last and kind of least, because it is the smallest, is the bathroom. So just a small plastic foot flush toilet. We actually do have a tub. I know a lot of models are moving away from having a tub into just having a step-in shower. So we have a tub, skylight shower situation. We have a new shower head in there. I think there's been some video information on that before.
We haven't made a video on that, but we'll include it in the one about water management. So
it's an Oxygenics for anyone who's curious, but it has made a very large difference in having it.
We have not overfilled our gray tanks on a 3-night camping trip since we installed this, so it's made a huge impact.
Ryan installed a command strip shower caddy for us that is specifically for being in a shower. He installed some command hooks on the opposite wall here for our towels. I'm gonna look into some new towels because these ones they still don't dry great, so, and of course they wouldn't. Things don't really dry great in an RV bathroom, so.
One disappointing thing that I'll mention, these walls are like not really waterproof. And so some dealers will actually install the shower surround before they sell you the rig. It's something, if we decide we're going to keep this rig, I would like to get an actual shower surround because I am worried about water getting places that it shouldn't. So, pregnant woman needed to sit down. And in general, I would say we really like this camper. And for the most part, things have worked properly for us up until recently. A lot of people complain about Forest River as far as like quality is concerned. It really hasn't been too bad, but longevity-wise, we're getting into some snafus, and you know, you've seen what we've had to modify to make sense of things, and so, you know, I kind of blame that on Forest River also for leaving empty spaces that you couldn't access and things of that nature.
I mean, the thing is, the more we modify, some people would want to maybe move to a new camper, but the more we modify to fit what we like, the less I want to change a camper, because then we'd have to redo the tongue jack, for example, or we'd have to relearn where there's empty spaces left behind, because I don't think it's just a Forest River thing.
Yeah, it's probably all brands have their quirks. Yeah, and that's the big thing. You know, we've got some big plans for the rig coming up, and you know, I wouldn't want to go through with all that stuff and then have to redo it again in the future. But Keystone makes this floor plan, Grand Design makes an Imagine with this floor plan. There's other brands, and maybe they've come up with a better use of certain things. I know Grand Design is real good about putting things where they actually make sense. For a while, we had even thought about just buying the same floor plan from a different brand, but I think when we do upgrade, it will be a little bit different direction.
Yeah, I think we'll go a little bit longer. We've enjoyed the length of this rig. It's helped us get into some places where a longer rig would not have been able to get into. But I think when we do upgrade, we're going to move into something that has a slide, something that has a separate bedroom so we can walk the dogs out and so they don't hold the bed all night long, because these two dogs are bed hogs.
Well, a king-size bed would solve that problem too, if we could find something with a king-size bed.
For now, this rig is working out. I've enjoyed it so far.
Yeah, I hope to get at least another year or two out of it. As far as rigs under 30 feet, I mean, it's a lot of bang for your buck as far as space goes, having the Murphy bed. And the Murphy bed is surprisingly easy to deal with, which...
Yeah, a lot of people would maybe get the travel fatigue with the Murphy bed up and down every day, but it's really not that bad. It's a pain to make the bed, but Ryan also mentioned, you know, you don't have to make the bed if you just put the bed away. Technically, no one's gonna see it, so. But it's not that hard. It's really easy to just lift it up and latch it in. That's all it takes.
So that's all we've got for you today. Hopefully winter will be over soon and we'll get you back into some more exciting content. But we wanted to make this video so that we would have something to share with you over the lull of the winter season. But we've got big plans for next year, so stay with us, and thanks for watching.